Do you practice? Hi, I'm Felipe Drago and welcome to Drago Drums. Of course your answer is going to be yes, I practice. But do you really practice? That's the thing. I know a lot of people who say they practice, but they don't. What they do is they play. Nothing wrong with that, but they're not evolving. They're playing always the same thing. They're not improving. Day in, day out, they're at the drums, they're playing and they're having fun, and everything they know, it's there all the time. But they never try anything new. They never try a new concept, a new technique, a new exercise, a new book, anything else. So do you actually practice? Do you take the time to, okay, I don't know this, let me try, and then having to go really slow, break things down, and take time and days and weeks and months? So this is why I'm asking, do you really practice? Because if we keep playing the things we know, those things are gonna be great. They're gonna be raging, as I've heard years ago, somebody referring to a drummer saying, oh, his chops are raging. But if you don't practice what you're playing now, maybe it's the same thing you were playing 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 15 years ago. Practicing and playing are two different things. And most importantly, have you considered having lessons? Because I know a lot of people that once they reach a certain level as a musician, they think, I don't need lessons anymore, which is not true. Because lesson is not only about stuff you don't know, but can also be about stuff you don't see. Because it's really hard for us to have the distance to look from the outside of what we're doing. And sometimes another person that may not even be better musicians than we are, see us doing something and go, hey, have you noticed that that could be like that other way? And then you go like, oh yeah, I've never thought of that. And then you try and then things start to improve again. I know for some people it's very difficult to be humble enough and say, I'm gonna go back to lessons. But look at the greats, you know, Steve Smith, Dave Wacko, Neil Peart, all these guys, they went back to drum lessons. The other day I saw Antonio Sanchez, he was in Brazil, and then he took the time to have a lesson with a Brazilian drummer over there. So if you look at Antonio Sanchez playing, you're gonna say, man, by the way, the Brazilian drummer is called Ramon Montaner. But if you coldly analyze Antonio Sanchez, you go like, this guy doesn't need any more lessons. Maybe you think he doesn't need any more lessons, but he thinks he does. Or maybe he saw Ramon doing something that he thought, wow, I need to know what that is. Maybe he's not gonna use that. Maybe he's not gonna, let's say, steal it, but he needs to know what it is and then learn that and make it his own in his own style. Kind of what Dave Wacko did years ago with Latin drumming. By no means Dave Wacko is a Latin drummer, but he started studying with Latin drummers and percussionists and incorporated that into his playing and made it his own. He's not a Latin drummer, but the Latin things that he learned from that time, he incorporated into his drumming, and then of course, everything improved a lot. Steve Smith, in the last 15 years, he has improved unbelievably, and he was already up here. So you thought, where can this guy go? Well, look at his videos, drum set technique and the US beat, standing in the shoulders of giants, pathways to motions and emotions, which is his latest one. Every time he improves, something comes out of it, which is great for us because we can improve as well. Consider this. I'm not questioning your ability as a drummer, but do you believe you could be better? You could improve, you could be probably a different drummer. So analyze, are you practicing or are you playing? And think about having lessons. There are great teachers all over the world. If the whole pandemic thing had an advantage was people realize that yes, you can teach online, and yes, you can learn online. And you can have lessons with anyone. So Your favorite drummer, I'm pretty sure he or she, when they have time, they teach online. So if your favorite drummer lives in LA and you live in Berlin, there's a way, no doubt about it. It's all about making the time. And also, maybe you are at a level that you don't need lessons every week. For example, for years, I studied with John Famularo, having one lesson a month. And it was plenty because he gave me enough material to be practicing that whole month. And then when the next lesson came up, I had practiced a lot, I had improved, and he's like, okay, great, so next step. There are alternatives out there. Maybe you need to stop and think. I hear a lot of musicians saying, I'm stuck, I cannot move forward, I don't like my play anymore, I don't know where to go. So consider the view of a professional teacher, somebody who has a lot of experience, doesn't need to be in your hometown, as I said, but it's going to look at you from the outside and say, ha, there it is. This is what you need to be doing to go where you want to go. Obviously, YouTube is great. I've heard the other day, I was watching a podcast and this guy said, if you know how to use it, YouTube is an university. And he's right, if you know how to use it. But there's one little thing about YouTube, especially for learning an instrument. There's no feedback. I know, I have plenty of lessons. Some have a lot of views. I know for some people it's not much, but for me it's a lot of views, like 6,000, 7,000 views. But I have no idea if these people are doing as it should be done, if they have improved, if it worked for them, if they have any doubts, because there's no feedback. Even if they make a comment, it's really hard reading something and then explaining it in writing in a way that makes sense, when sometimes all you need to do is move like this, and 2 seconds and the explanation is given. So 2 things I want you to take from this video. First, are you practicing or are you just playing? Would you consider going back and having drum lessons? Why not? So if you got to this point in the video, say, I'm here. Yeah, write in the comments, I'm here, so I know how many people watched the whole thing. And also, if you liked, say you did. If you didn't like, say you didn't, because it helps me. If people like a certain kind of video and doesn't like another kind of video, I know that let's not do that. Why, if people don't like? Okay, thank you very much. See you in the next one. Bye.